So, who knows the Pan's Labyrinth monster? Who was traumatized by that?
I am.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
I mean, it's not the only monster, but it is like the monster. Boy, Guillermo del Toro really fucked me over in high school. That's when I first saw this movie.
This one definitely, I have to say, of all the creatures, this is the one that I first saw it and Googled it. That's like the first image that comes up.
Yeah. It's, it's, it, I don't even have words. There's no words. There's none? There's no words at all. Although the only difference from the one in Pan's Labyrinth and this one is it only really inhabitates open fields and graveyards at night. So, no, we will not be subjected to being practically confined in close quarters with this thing hot on our trails.
It is very good. I'm still wondering if I was going to die to this thing's hand, if giving it a high five, what would happen?
No, you will likely still die to this thing. I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
it is a cannibal. Well, at least the one from Pan's Labyrinth was a cannibal, considering all the shoes of children we saw.
Mm.
That will never not be horrifying. All those shoes. But, well, if you really do look into its origins, this creature is kind of unfortunate in a way. I mean, it's said that it's likely ghosts of blind men who were robbed or murdered by thugs. And since they never got a look at, who's the one that killed them, then their eyes are now in their hands so that, by walking with their hands outstretched and the eyes there, they can see whoever's coming. So yeah. It's not even really the fact that, this person was evil. I mean, even in death, they're not exactly evil, even though, they do kind of have like a bad rap. But really, mostly they're just like haunting. They're not even attacking out of like, instinct or whatever. It literally just scares you.
It does. In fact, they are actually Pan's Labyrinth, absolutely terrifying this, but they're actually in animes. If I remember correctly, Demon Slayer has a character who has the eyes and the hands.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
Yeah. In fact, I still think it's funny is that character always keeps his eyes closed. And the only thing went through my head is like, wait a minute, have we ever seen Brock from Pokemon's hands open? Always has his eyes closed too.
For some characters, that's a choice. Or a design trait. I don't know. Don't quote me.
Nope.
But yeah, it's one of the things that this is definitely still a yokai. This is still, but of all the creatures we've talked about, this one doesn't seem like it's seeking you.
Well,
it'll see you. It's creepy, but
well, again, my theory is it's only looking for the people that caused its death. And, it's likely before he died, he heard what the person or multiple people sounded like. So if he hears them speaking, again, since he didn't get a chance to see them, he wouldn't know what they look like. But again, it's literally only a creature haunting a singular open area. So if it pops up, you just can run. And I don't think I've ever seen a way to defeat it unless you can't run.
Cure out.
What?
The hand sanitizer.
No.
That could work.
No.
It might be like not thinking at first and realize I've made a horrible mistake.
Oh god. Come on. If you think about it, this thing is the reverse data. And I swear to God, if neither of you tell me you saw Naruto, I'm going to scream.
I saw Naruto.
Then you should know exactly who I'm talking about.
Kinda.
The one with hands in his palms. And the ones with mouths, my god. The one with mouths in his palms. But yeah, this thing is basically a reverse data. Because instead of mouths, it's eyes. No, I am not going to be irrationally crazy and say, hey, your hands look kind of dirty. Here, let me give you some hand sanitizer. I've gotten that stuff in my eye before by accident. It hurts so much.
Well, we could give it hand sanitizer.
No.
Or we could just give him like a half cut of lemon.
Jerk.
Here, catch this.
No. Oh, goodness. No.
I don't know though. I don't know if it would work though if you threw something, because if you make a fist tight enough, nothing would get to it. The eye. You'd have to do something to make you open its hand. Which is one thing I don't understand, because it's going to grab you. But by grabbing you, you're going to have the eye touch you, which I think would hurt.
Ew. Actually, I just kind of thought about something, but it's in a different context. Not really meaning to like cross promote here, but I listened to another YouTube channel called the Redwood Bureau, and one of their more recent, how can I put this? One of their more like recent ones that came up like at this point a couple of weeks ago, since I am like so slow on listening to these things, was the Project Visionary file. But in that one, sadly, the poor young man that was I wouldn't say victim to this, but basically patient zero of it, developed eyes all over his body, not just his hands.
That's terrifying. And that's...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have nightmares if I saw something like that.
It definitely triggered my trypophobia, just imagining it.
I think I need more lemons.
Enough with the lemons.
Alright then. Where's my pepper spray?
Oh, goodness. Moving on. Do you guys believe in curses?
Well,
or
being...
Well, okay, I guess correction. Do you believe in curses that target only one person rightfully?
Ideally, that'd be amazing.
I sense a but.
But the world doesn't usually go into that. It's always never that fair.
True.
I don't believe in curses, but I do believe in the butterfly effect.
Well, yes, that's kind of one way to put it. And the reason I asked that is because the next person, or rather yokai, we're going to talk about is Oiwa-san. Now, do either of you know who that is?
No.
Isn't it the story of him and someone's partner is murdered and they return as a ghost?
Well, yes. As the
Yoka's
legend goes, Oiwa-san was a beautiful woman and she married a samurai. But after they have a child and, she gets sick, he decides she's not worth it. But, during this time period, divorce wasn't exactly a thing. The only way to basically annul a marriage was if a partner committed infidelity or they died. Well, let's just say Oiwa fell into the middle of both those categories, I guess you could say. Um Basically to no longer be married to her, um her husband, the samurai, decided to hire someone to assault her. And also, before that, he basically mutilated his wife's face by giving her cream to, I guess he lied to her and said, make her look young and beautiful again. But in actuality, it disfigured her face. So the person who was hired to assault her couldn't exactly, live up to the task because he freaked out when he saw her face. And in a bit of a struggle, she fell on an exposed sharp object and ended up either slitting her throat or impaling herself. This freed the now widow to marry someone's daughter who was actually influential. But we all know how the old saying goes. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. And
Mhm.
Oiwa was scorned all right, because she came back to haunt her husband by placing her face on the face of his beautiful new bride to the point he went crazy and killed her. And she been haunting him ever since.
Isn't there something with a lantern with it too? I don't remember. That her face or she can come out of the lantern too, or there's been so
Oh,
many iterations of the story.
there are. Yes. The iteration I have where I was introduced to this story was from an anime called Ayakashi, Japanese classic horror anime. In that one, there are a couple of stories, well, three over the span of the entire anime, as I believe it's only like, what, 12 episodes long, I want to say. But I believe her story takes up three out of that 12. So, yeah, she really, really had it bad. The samurai who she married is named Iemon. And, well, let's just say even back then, as it is now, because, that never has changed, no matter what age it is, men's eyes wander, and Iemon decided Oiwa wasn't worth his time anymore. So he was like, you know what? I'm going to do some deviousness, and I'm going to get with this young pretty girl. So bye! And ended up paying for it. If that's a curse, because again, she has haunted him until he died, then I don't know what a curse might be, because that is the worst of it.
Well, tell you the truth, he kind of deserved it.
And you are right about the butterfly effect, because, well, spoilers for the anime. After Oiwa died, the person Iemon hired to basically assault her, he killed that man as well, and then spun the story that Oiwa was the one cheating on him, even before her face was disfigured. And that, uh, the kid they have probably isn't even his, but, he's going to do his duty and, take care of it and raise it and everything, blah, 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 blah. Dispose of both the man's body and Oiwa's bodies together. So, when Oiwa came back as a vengeful spirit, and he ended up decapitating his new bride, the man he hired, his spirit also came back and, took over the visit of Iemon's new father-in-law. Iemon ended up killing up his father-in-law, only to realize too late what he did, and, has been haunted by visions ever since. Again, deserved. But, if you think about it, it's a cautionary tale. Don't cheat on your spouse. Don't orchestrate putting your spouse in a scandal of infidelity. If you're bored of your spouse, don't look for what you saw in them in someone else. Try rediscovering it in them, please. Because, heartbreak and betrayal only fuels more heartbreak and betrayal. An eye for an eye makes the whole world go blind, basically.
Absolutely. I did find my thing. This is why I got a little bit confused here. That the night before his wedding, he started having terrible nightmares, and one of them is seeing his wife's face coming out of a paper lantern. So that's where you also get, basically, you get two myth things together: the paper lantern ghost and this one. They're both the same.
Yeah, but again, fully deserved. I mean, come on. I get it. Beauty doesn't last, so, when the
Well,
person you married
beauty
only for the.
doesn't last.
I mean, it does.
It doesn't last, but it doesn't help that when you try to kill your wife and you'd make it worse.
Okay, let's switch. Let's switch to this. Beauty lasts, depending on your skincare routine, but it doesn't cover up the ugliness underneath, essentially.
Yeah.
Because in that anime, Oiwa was beautiful, but Yaemon wasn't exactly a looker himself. I mean, he was fine, but let's just say he would have to be the one to pursue a woman. Women were not exactly flocking to him. The only catch is that young new wife he took, but that is because she just wanted him. It probably was love at first sight. Who am I to judge that? But yeah, no, he wasn't all that to me.
I think it's a woman going after the bad boy type, but then wondering why he's not a good man. It decapitates you and your father.
Well, she didn't even have the chance to figure that one out. I mean, as I'm not saying as usual, but I'm guessing back in, the years where like marriages were usually like political most of the time, on the wedding night is traditional to, consummate the marriage the very same night. He didn't even get the chance to do that.
Nope.
No pity. None whatsoever. All I can say is there's likely a really deep, dark, painful circle of hell for people who do that. But hey, his hell came to earth and kept haunting him until he took his final breath. Wonder if he reunited with Oiwa and tried apologizing over and over in death. I mean, that's a punishment. You disfigured your wife's face, so now you have to stare at that same face that you ruined and apologize, prostrate on your hands and knees for all eternity. No forgiveness.
That would be a good punishment for him.
And when I say disfigured, I really mean like disfigured. Like, I'm looking at images, but in the anime, yeah, it's kind of the same. Like, half her face basically looks like it's melting off, essentially, and it's like red. Even extends up to like her hair. So, like, if she tried combing like that part of her hair, she's literally ripping her hair out. It was so bad.
Yeah, I'm looking at the same ones too, and yeah.
So, yeah. No one can say that he didn't deserve it. No one can say that, it was an honest mistake or whatever. Nuh-uh. This was intentional. He did it on purpose. He deserves all of the punishment.
And I have to agree on that. He did deserve it, 100%.
Oh well. Not much you can do after that one. I mean, again,
Nope.
just don't don't let your eyes wander. Like, geez, if you don't want your wife to become an unreal, or rather a vengeful spirit, don't cheat and don't try to trick her. Women know after a while. We just know.